Hey buddy, did you hear the news? It's track review.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Needle Drop Track Reviews. This is Anthony Fantano, the busiest music nerd, and as you may have maybe a little bit noticed, there is a bit of a change in aesthetics here, going for a little more simplicity. We have a brand new sexy time background, and I got rid of the microphone, just because it was kind of getting in my way, and I kind of feel like it was fucking with my feng shui. Definitely ruining my chi, it was ruining my energy, it was ruining my ability to do this and do that and move around, and I really need to have space to think, especially about music. Okay, and this past week I forgot about doing the Request Wednesday, so I feel like a complete ass over that, okay, to be completely honest with you. So I'm going to catch up with that today, and this was a request, like I said, so let's have me kind of pop up. And this track comes from the band Velvet Cacoon. Picture of the album which this track comes off of, Genevieve. And this band is from Portland, Oregon, which I am learning the West Coast has a phenomenal black metal scene, which I am just sort of really delving into because of you guys, because you're just turning me on to all this stuff, which is fantastic. This band, through my research on them, doesn't have a lot to offer. In fact, if you go on their main website, there's this long-winded message about how they misguide a lot of music journalists and people into thinking certain things about the band that aren't true, and apparently these guys just don't want to let a lot be known about them, which is fine. I'm completely cool with that. In fact, the opposite, obsessing over people who are in bands and wanting to know everyone's name and, oh, what was your exact thought behind this record, and what does this lyric mean, and what does that lyric mean, and, oh, did you go to the bathroom while you were doing this record? What did you eat while you were writing this record? That kind of shit bothers me and makes me want to kill myself. Shouldn't the independent scene be a little bit more heady and not care about turning the musicians that they love into stupid celebrities and obsess over who they're dating or what they're thinking or what they're eating or what shoes they're wearing or what kind of clothes they own? But anyway, this LP, by chance, was actually recently reissued by the label Southern Lord. So if you go on their website, I'm sure you'll be able to pick up a copy of that, grab it, and from what I'm hearing so far, it's right up my alley in terms of black metal music. Alright, here we go. I'm just going to get right into the track now. This track is called P.S. Nautical. Velvet Cacoon with the track P.S. Nautical. Alright, so what I've learned so far about listening to all these black metal groups on the West Coast is that I've learned that you really have these two kinds of faces of black metal. Of course, there are a ton of different ways to do black metal, but there are these two main faces that I'm seeing in the underground. You have this really harsh sound that kind of screams at you, not literally as if the singer is screaming at you, but the sound in general, just the really hot guitars, the really brutal drums. It's all just really an onslaught. And then you have these guys like, this song was A Little Bit, and Zaster, who I have reviewed before, who have this more ambient approach on some of their songs. You know, you have this really hot side, and then you have this ambient side of black metal. I kind of felt like this track straddled both of those worlds in a couple different ways. You had this guitar distortion, but it wasn't that hot on the ears. And the vocals, I kind of felt like I was being whispered to over the guitar distortion, which was kind of notched a little bit down because of the vocals. Because the vocals weren't screaming. It wasn't... It was kind of like... which was kind of weird to my ears because I was hearing like these hot distorted guitars, but I was also being whispered to. And the drums, I usually like my black metal drums to be a little bit more brutal. This kind of felt like a it almost felt like very mechanical, very low end, very thumpy. Not necessarily a lot of cymbals in there, not a lot of snare that I heard anyway. It could have been based on snare, but it kind of felt like the treble was turned way down on the drums, and they were just sort of like left in the background behind the guitar distortion. I like the wall of sound thing that they were going for. It really felt like a thick Nordic blizzard. However, I kind of felt like it didn't go up with everything else. It kind of just drowned everything else out and kind of maybe took away a little bit of the dynamics that could have made the song a more interesting, more ambient piece. But that's just me. I felt like the little arpeggios at the end of the song, which could have been keyboard or guitars, were really captivating. A lot more captivating than the beginning of the song, which was unfortunate. Nevertheless, this is more toward my taste of black metal that I think is really cool for the genre. So I could give this a good 6, a really, really good 6, just teetering on a 7. I can't necessarily say it's bad. It's definitely experimental. It's in that spot that I like it to be in. It's just missing a few elements that I think really make black metal great. Just the harshness of it, the ambitiousness of black metal. I really love black metal that reaches for something epic and wants to be fierce and wants to be scary. I kind of felt like this track didn't want to be that, although it might have tried. This is Anthony Fantano of The Needle Drop with American Black Metal Forever.